Hello, I'm Judge Chuck Snyder, recently retired from the Superior Court bench in Whatcom County. I'm really excited to see this recovery house project come to life, and I know that it's going to mean a lot for our community. It's something that has been near and dear to me in my time as a judge, to see how we can help people who are suffering from substance abuse and the concomitant effects of that. I presided over the drug court in the Superior Court for over 12 years. I worked directly and intimately with all of the people who were members of that program, the folks who were the case managers, the participants who were the people working hard to free their lives of their addiction and rebuild their lives. And drug court is a program which is aimed at doing just that, allowing people to completely rebuild their lives. It includes everything from drug treatment and case management to regular court appearances and developing a one-on-one relationship with the judge, which is a very unusual thing in a courtroom. We worked very carefully in our case management program to give people the basis for going forward with their lives, to have a way to gain meaningful employment or get education, to find a place to live in a way that they could do so in consistent ways with their treatment requirements and their sobriety. And so what we found was very common in our community was it was very difficult for the folks in drug court to have a place to live that was a safe and a clean and sober environment. It was very difficult for them to get away from the people with whom they had generally used. And in many cases, when they didn't have a place to live, the couches they would surf on were those of people with whom they had previously been regular users. And that, of course, is a disaster for someone who's trying to maintain sobriety and to try to build a clean and sober life and another way of living. And one of the things that we struggled with was the fact there weren't many places in Whatcom County for people to live. And I know of many of our participants who would have a difficult time completing the requirements of drug court and staying out of trouble and staying clean and sober when they didn't have a regular place to live. But when they did get a good, solid place to live, when they were able to do so, it made an enormous difference, and it had a huge impact on their ability to do all of the other things they needed to make their program successful. In fact, it had a lot to do with whether they could get a job, because it's difficult to get a job if you don't have an address. It had a lot to do with whether they felt that they had the confidence in themselves to live independently, because you need to be able to do so if you're going to maintain your sobriety. So the housing stability is one of the major portions of ongoing treatment that is necessary for someone to change their lives in the process of drug court or any other addiction treatment program. The problem, of course, is that it's a day-to-day process, and it's something that is part and parcel of treatment. When you think of someone going to drug treatment, you don't always think about all of the other things in their lives. And this part of their life, having a place to live in a safe and stable place, is extraordinarily expensive. And it's also extraordinarily difficult for them to find. So I'm extraordinarily excited that the Rotary Club of Bellingham has chosen to support the Recovery House, to give us the opportunity for people in drug court or other recovery programs to have a place where they can live, to be in a clean and sober environment, to have the support and help that they need. I remember one of our participants in particular, a young woman who had a young child. And when she couldn't find a place to live, she couldn't manage to get to her treatment program. She couldn't figure out how to get to a job and put things together. And she came across a very wonderful person who was able to provide her a place to live, regardless of her history and her background, regardless of what she was doing, who was a person who understood that someone in drug court had a great deal of support built around them and would be a pretty good risk for a place to live. And she gave this young woman an opportunity and a place to live. She gave her an apartment to rent. And it made all the difference in the world. Within a couple of months, she had begun to put her program together in a very solid and complete manner. She and her daughter were living there. Her daughter was back in school. Everything was working out the way it needed to. And it was the first big step for her to move forward to the point where she eventually graduated from the program and went on her own and was able to make her own life. So I can't say enough about how important this program is, how important it is for people to have clean, sober, and stable housing when they're trying to recover from the difficulties of drug addiction. So I'm very happy to lend my support to this, and I'm very happy that the Rotary Club of Bellingham has seen fit to do the same, and that with the help of the Housing Authority and the Opportunity Council, this program will go forward and we'll have good housing for people for many years to come. Thank you.